God has a plan, a specific plan and purpose for your life. In fact, He may have given you insights or an inkling of what that plan may be, and now you're waiting. Maybe you've been waiting for a while, and maybe you're beginning to doubt, to question. Does that sound at all possible? Maybe familiar? It does for me, and maybe for some of you too. I know what it's like to feel that God's given you a dream, a vision, that He's given you a glimpse of your destiny, only to have it sit and wait and wait and sit. You're waiting so long it feels like God has forgotten you. You look around and nothing's happening. Well, at least nothing you can see. Sometimes God is working on the situation around you. Other times He's working on you. If you're feeling that kind of discouragement, maybe even questioning God's direction or calling, I want you to think about Moses. Most people, when we think of Moses in the Bible, we think of him as an old, long bearded man with lightning in his eyes. Got my beard going on too here. Kind of just a coincidence though. But he's carrying the commandments, with the tablets with the 10 Commandments, and leading the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. All true and legit descriptions of the man. What we sometimes forget is that there was a lot of stuff happening before that description came to be. Pharaoh's daughter found Moses as a baby by the river and brought him up as her own. After 40 years of living as a prince of Egypt, he killed an Egyptian and he had to flee to Midian. He spent the next 40 years as a shepherd, a husband, and a father before God led him back to his destiny. The Bible says after those 40 years had passed, an angel appeared to Moses in the flames of a burning bush in the desert near Mount Sinai. When he saw this, he was amazed at the sight. As he went over to look more closely, he heard the Lord's voice say, "I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Moses trembled with fear and didn't dare to look. Duh, I think I would be doing the same thing. But then the Bible goes on. It says, "Then the Lord said to him, 'Take off your sandals. The place where you are standing is holy ground. I have indeed seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I've heard their groaning, and I've come down to set them free. Now come,' he told Moses. 'I will send you back to Egypt.'" 40 years went by before that famous bush burst into flame. Moses went into the desert, having lived most of his life as a proud, powerful prince of Egypt, with all that entails. People did what he told them to do. He got what he wanted, when he wanted it. He had it all. When he came out after those long 40 years in the desert, he was a different man. It wasn't just the bush that God had burning. God used those 40 years to temper Moses in the fire, to strengthen him for the tremendous calling God had for him. If you've been waiting on your destiny, take heart and trust that God has not forgotten you. Don't give up. Trust that God is working around you and on you. Run the race to the finish and see firsthand the glory and power of the Lord in your